guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my April favorites. I'm sure you guys should know by now that in April I went to Korea for 2 weeks. So during this period of time, I've gathered a lot of new favorite products. And so since it is the beginning of May, I thought it would be appropriate to share my favorites with you guys. Also because I haven't done a favorites in like, I don't know, 5 months maybe. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to begin with skincare products. So the very first one are these pimple patches from Cosrx. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. They're like super famous and I think they're like the best pimple patches ever. So actually I started using them before I went to Korea, and then when I was in Korea I continued using them. I bought them, I finished them in Korea, and in Korea I actually tried another brand of acne patches. They're from this brand called Dr. Wanda, and they were a little bit pricier, but they have both like the ones that you can wear out and ones that you should wear to sleep. I've tried that one, but I feel like the one from Cosrx is still better, so I just went back to the ones from Cosrx. So for these pimple patches, basically in the month of April, probably because of the Drunk Elephant products I've been using, I was still getting a lot of really matured pimples, and especially in Korea, like every single day I have a pimple that I can pop, but I didn't pop and I don't want to pop it. So I basically started using these pimple patches as like a band-aid to protect my pimples, because I noticed prior to going to Korea, I noticed that whenever I sleep, I tend to scratch my face or I don't know, like unknowingly I will scratch my face and then I will like burst the pimple, and then I will just spread the bacterial all over my blanket, my pillow, all over my face, and then my acne will not recover because I'm just spreading all the bacteria around. So I noticed that I have to like have something to protect my pimples. So I went with this and it has been working great, and it's also really great at like sucking out the sebum, I guess. So this is great, but I only use it on pimples that has already formed a head, because those are pimples that are more prone to like burst and have the bacterial spread. So those are the pimples that I feel like need extra protection and care, which is why I place a patch over it. So yeah, I use this when I go to bed, and I use this when I want to protect it from like makeup, or even when I'm outside in case, because there are actually times when I'm outside and a pimple will be like bursting. So that is the time where I will use this. But to be honest, I don't really like wearing pimple patches out because they still look pretty obvious to me. So the next skincare product is this sunscreen, and this is the Unseen Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 40 sunscreen from Supergoop, and I got this just before I went to Korea. So I started using this maybe a couple of days before I went to Korea, and I've been really liking this. The formula is great. It feels exactly like a primer, and so it sits very well under makeup. So if you like have a bad habit of not putting sunscreen but you have a habit of putting primer, then this would be great for you because it feels exactly like a primer. To be honest, when I started using this, I didn't really like it. Like I didn't fell instantly in love with it because I'm a person who doesn't use primer because I don't really like that texture of it. But then after using this for every single day when I was in Korea, I really started liking this because I realized how well it sits under my makeup, and it doesn't have any white cast or whatsoever because it's not even white, it's like clear. So I mean, it's called Unseen Sunscreen because it's a clear cream. I really like this, and it's not oily, non-shiny at all. Really, it's like a primer, and this is also fragrance free, fragrance and paraben free. The only thing is that this is a really pricey sunscreen. I forgot how much this is. I got it during the Sephora sale, but I thought it would be bigger than this because I bought the largest size available, and then it's so freaking small. So it is a very expensive sunscreen. Moving on to makeup products, when I was in Korea, I only brought 3 eyeshadow palettes, and one was like a really small one, which I think is shocking because like I was there for 2 whole weeks, but I only brought like so little eyeshadows. But anyway, the eyeshadow palette that I've been using a lot when I was in Korea is this one, and this is the Through My Eyes eyeshadow palette from Colourpop, and I freaking love this palette. I featured it in my Colourpop haul and I also did a blog post on it. It really has like a lot of shades. It has bronze, it has gold, it has yellow, orange, pinks, everything, nude shades, champagne shades, and so I've been using this a lot. And the shade I've been using the most, I'm pretty sure you can tell immediately because it looks kind of gross, is this one. It's called Sandalwood and it's just a nude shade and I really like it. I just put it all over my lids. I actually have it on my eyes right now. I did the exact same look for most of the days, and that is sandalwood all over my lids, and then I used this bronze shade called Muse, I guess, Muse, as like a glitter shade, and then I use this shade Canela on my outer corners. Okay, this is a brown, but it's not really a dark brown. This is the darkest brown I have when I was in Korea, so I used this on my outer corners and that's it. Oh yeah, and I used this shade called Lucido, which is a champagne shade, which I use for my inner highlights, and that's it. That is the look I always do when I was in Korea, and I love it. So I just love this palette. I feel like it has everything I want and need. Another product I've been using a lot in Korea is this blush from Colourpop. This is the Zoella and Colourpop blush, pressed powder blush, and this is called Soulmate. So I did talk about this in my Colourpop haul as well, but this is just a really simple pink shade, and since it was spring when I was in Korea, I just felt like this shade is perfect for that because it just looks like the shade of cherry blossoms or something. I don't know, I just kept going towards this, and I think maybe it's because it looks very natural. It doesn't have any shimmer in it. You guys should know that I really love the NARS Orgasm blusher, but that one has a shimmer to it. So I feel like when I was in Korea, a lot of the times I just wanted something more simple, also because my skin wasn't very good. So like if you have acne and stuff, you wouldn't want your face to be very shiny and glittery, so I went with this, which is a matte shade, and I love it. It's quite pigmented actually if you use a brush. Moving on, I've got some fashion favorites. So the very first favorite are earrings, and specifically like diamond earrings. So kind of like diamond statement earrings. So I started liking them way before April actually. Like I really like this one. I wore this in my workout routine video, and I also wore it during Christmas Eve. So that was the period when I started liking these earrings, and it's actually because of Taeyong from BTS. I remember he was wearing a lot of these like gemstones earrings during the year-end performances or something. I can't remember, but I remember he was wearing a lot of these like big diamond studded earrings, and then so I just bought these and I wore them, and I just like love them a lot. I feel like they go well with everything. Like you can just wear a t-shirt and then just wear these studs and it will completely change your outfit. So this is one that I really like. I got this from Lovisa, and then I also got these, which I wore in my Korea beauty haul video, and I also wore this twice when I was in Korea, when I went to Busan and another day I can't remember. But this one has pearls on it, and it has like a big like green gemstone on it, and I really like it. And I also really like pearl earrings right now. Basically earrings that give this like view, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but this is another one that I really like. This one I got it from Shein, and then another one which is the newest one to my collection are these ones. This one is pretty similar to what I have, but this one's a dangling one, whereas the one I have is just a stud. So this one I got it in Busan. It was 6,900 won, which is about less than $10, maybe like $8-9. So I really like it. I wore it when I was in Korea as well. I can't remember which day, but I did wear it. The next fashion favorite, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll definitely see it in a lot of my Instagram photos. So it is this bag, and I actually got quite a lot of compliments about this bag and quite a lot of questions about this bag. It's so funny because I actually got this bag in Korea at Seoul, Myeongdong. It's at a store that is right beside a store that sells like K-pop posters and cards and stuff. So I actually went to that shop a couple of times, which is why I know. You can probably find it at most of the bag stores at Myeongdong or Hongdae. You just have to take note of the stores that says 10,000 won for every bag. There's a lot of this kind of stores, so you just go in and see if they have this if you're interested. It came in a lot of colors, but I chose this mustard color one and I freaking love it. And surprisingly, even though it is yellow, it goes so well with a lot of my outfits. And I think that's why a lot of people has been asking me about this bag, because I featured it in so many of my outfit of the day photos, so it just went well with everything I wore. The quality is really good and I really like it because you can hold it like that, which is how I usually hold in my photos, but in reality I don't hold it like that because I am always holding my camera, so it's like impossible for me to like hold it like that. I always use the sling and I just sling it around like that, and it's so convenient because I just have this right in front of me. It has a pocket inside, so I just put like my T-money card, which is the transit card, in here, and then just everything here, and then at the side it has two useless pockets because I don't ever use them, and then it closes with a magnet, and I really like it. I got so many compliments about it, which made me like it even more. It's so funny because we actually went into another store, like a bag shop, and the owner actually praised my bag, and she even took a photo of it because she said it looks really nice, and she asked me how much I got it for, and I was like 10,000 won. So that's about $12, and the quality is really nice. So I've been really liking this bag, and it even goes well with what I'm wearing. I mean, I'm wearing black and white, but it just makes such a difference in my outfit, I feel like. Moving on, I've got some non-beauty and non-fashion favorites. So the very first one is this neck pillow. So you might be thinking, well, that's super random, but I've actually never used a neck pillow in my life. So I got this at the Changi Airport, and this is actually quite expensive. There were cheaper versions, but I got this one because this is two for $50, so one is like $25. So I got one for my boyfriend and I got this for myself, and I just really like it. It is actually a 2-in-1. You can transform it into a pillow if you want to, which I actually did on the flight back home. Like honestly, during my flight to Korea, the entire journey, in my mind I was just thinking, thank God I bought this because it was so comfortable. And I also used this on the train to Busan, on the train to Seoul, on the bus to Gwangju. So like I use this so much. If you have never used a neck pillow, you really need to go get a neck pillow because it makes such a huge difference, especially if you love to sleep on the plane, on the bus, or wherever. You need this. So my next favorite is the new BTS album, which is called Map of the Soul Persona, and I freaking love the entire album. And I feel like that's actually quite rare for me to love every single song in the album, but I do love every single song in this album, and I'm just really happy because I got the physical album, which is something that I don't usually do. Like during my flights, I just had this album on repeat. Like I didn't listen to any of their other songs. I just had this album on repeat on Spotify, and I just love every song. So even though I love all the songs, if I had to pick just one song, like my most favorite song out of the album, out of the 7 songs, it will definitely be Home. Home is one of the songs that I can just listen on repeat, like just on its own. So I guess that says a lot. So yeah, I really like this album. Even if you're not a BTS fan, I really recommend you to listen to their songs, especially Home, because I feel like maybe like Boy With Love, it sounds very K-pop-ish, I don't know, but I feel like with Home, it just sounds so special, but so good. It's kind of chill, and I just freaking love it. Like I really feel like you need to like listen to it. It's so good. And I also really love Persona actually. I really want to learn Persona, but I really don't think I can do it. But yeah, go check them out, please. So my last favorite is actually a series on YouTube, and it's from this YouTube channel called BBC3, and the series is called Living Differently. So I have no idea why YouTube just decided to recommend me one of the videos from the series, and I clicked on it and I watched everything like within a day. Like I just spent like the entire afternoon watching like everything. So basically this series features different people with different disabilities, and most of the time they feature people with really rare disabilities. So they show you how they live differently with their disabilities, and I just find it really interesting and very inspiring because most of them, they're really courageous and strong, and they're also really positive. And it kind of made me feel really ashamed of myself because I have really bad skin at the moment, and it was really bad before I went to Korea and when I was in Korea. So I was feeling very bad about myself because as you guys know, I vlog whenever I travel, and so I had to face the camera a lot of times when I was in Korea. So every time I look at the camera, I just like, oh my god, like my acne, my pimple, and I get so frustrated with my acne. But acne is just such a small issue compared to what other people are facing. So when I was watching these videos, I just felt really embarrassed of myself for being so like for making such a big deal out of having like not perfect skin. And you know, whereas for them, they are dealing with disabilities that will affect them for the rest of their lives, but they are so much more positive than I am. So I feel like it's really inspiring, and it's also really interesting to know all these different like disabilities and genetic mutation. You know, I didn't know like all these actually exist. You know, like there is this like there was this case where the girl's muscles will actually turn into bones, and I didn't know that such a thing could happen. And there's also this case where this girl's bone will actually disappear, like her body will actually like eat the calcium from her bones, which is why it sort of eats away her bones. And like all these kind of things, I really don't know that it exists. And some of them also have YouTube channels, which is cool. So yeah, I will leave a link to the series in the description box below if you want to check that out. Like one episode is only like 5 minutes, so I think that's why I just took like one afternoon and I just finished everything. So yeah, we have come to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my favorites, and I'll see you guys really soon in my next video.